Imitation isn't flattery, it's just annoying me. And I'm too about it. And the dirt that they threw on my name turned to soil, and I grew about it.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Gin Blend Podcast. This is going to be part 2 of the episode with JJ. So, you know, double trouble, double JJs. So, we're going to start this episode with the next phase of JJ's life/career, college at A&T. So, what made you pick A&T, and how did A&T pick you?
Perfect, man. Let me just start by saying, man, A&T was probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my life.
That's
you know what I'm saying, right? Fellow Aggie. Yeah. So basically what happened was I was being recruited by a lot of Division II schools, high level Division II schools that could compete for national championships, and I was recruited by I think 8 D1 schools.
Okay.
Of those 8 D1 schools, I really only had 3 for real offers, and I had 2 partial offers, right?
Okay.
So I could have went to Wake Forest on a partial scholarship, and I could have went to North Carolina State on a partial scholarship.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and my thing was, my mom and dad was like, nah, if you can get a full scholarship, those are going to be the choices.
That was about to be my next question. What made you pick A&T if you had those like bigger schools?
Yeah. So A&T offered me a full scholarship. UNCG offered me a full scholarship, and then High Point University was about to offer me a full scholarship, but I chose A&T prior to that.
Okay. Not to cut you off, but I just seen some on TikTok with High Point University. They got like one of the best campuses I ever seen in my life.
Oh man, High Point got bread. They got a really their financial situation is very nice. I'll just say that. Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but
nah,
I just had to say that.
Yeah. High Point is shout out to High Point. Shout out to High Point.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so UNCG, I was really familiar with UNCG because we went to team camp there every year. But the situation there was another guard that was my same year that they were recruiting. And when I went on my visit, they told me, when they were recruiting me, they told me they weren't recruiting any other guard in my position, right? So when I went on my visit to A&T, just before I went to A&T's campus, I went by UNCG's campus, me and my mom, and we accidentally ran into this kid that was on his visit to UNCG, and they were telling me that they weren't recruiting nobody else in my position. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of worked out by us just going by there, not intentionally, just, you know what, let's ride by UNCG's campus while we're waiting to, get with the coaches and stuff at A&T. And that worked out because we X'd them off my list because they basically lied to me, right?
Thanks.
But it took me about 10 minutes to realize the A&T was where I was going to go.
Dang.
I stepped on campus, man, and like I already know what you're thinking. But not for that reason, though, right? So
that was my reason.
That's right. Nah, for real though. I mean, there was a lot of beautiful women there. The girls were amazing, right? But for me, I chose A&T because it was just amazing to see other people that looked like me that I absolutely knew was going to change the world. Right? Like, I mean, just the brilliance, the excellence, like these kids were about something. And I was like, man, I felt at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is where I'm supposed to be. So the coaching staff, they all from day one, they were on me. Like, you're the guard that we want. They told me who else they were recruiting. We had our recruiting class, I think, was ranked top 10 in the country that year.
Oh, dang.
So we had 2 players that were high major, and some stuff happened. So they, they got in trouble. So A&T was able to sign them. And then we had 2 junior college transfers that they were also signing to come in. Okay. So our freshman class, or our recruiting class, I should say, was in the Slam magazine. And, Slam was big during that time. So I still got that.
It's still big.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a no-brainer for me to sign with them. And man, when I got to campus and actually got going, it was different right away. And from basketball, right? Okay. Because we have 15 players, I should say, that had either full scholarships or were, going to be on the team, even if they didn't have full scholarships. Okay. And out of the 15 players, I was ranked 15.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I couldn't, and pick up before the season started. I couldn't get a bucket on nobody.
Dang.
I couldn't stop nobody. Like, it was literally to the point where, like, when it was game point, they would just give the ball to whoever I was guarding. Yeah, and they would get the point.
Dang.
So it was discouraging, man, because you know I was a big fish in the pond that I had just left.
Yeah.
Right, and now, and too, like if I'm being honest, like I had NC State and Wake Forest, like offering me some money to come there. So I'm thinking I'm getting ready to go to A&T. I'm gonna be straight.
Yeah.
But nah, that wasn't the case. And so I remember calling home to my brother who also played ball, Jamil, and it was like, man, I don't think this for me, man. I think I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like these boys are good. And he was just like, man, just think about how much work you put in high school and just give it a month. And you put in that type of work again. You know what to do, I don't. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, just going back to them seeds I planted as a freshman in high school, I just made sure that, you know, whatever we did, I doubled it up or I did it 3 times as much, right? So if we went to lift, I'd lift with the team, and then I'd sneak back in the weight room, I'd lift again. Like if we had 2 practices, I'd make sure I got back to the gym and did one or 2 more. And slowly but surely, man, that, you know, that gap started to close. And I'll never forget, I tell the story to my teammates and stuff a lot of times. I'll try to get through this real quick. I had been working for weeks, you know what I'm saying? This was like the last week of the month that I was giving myself to like get myself to where I needed to be to be on the team. This is before the season. Okay, before the season. And the starting point guard that year was also picked to be like first team all MEAC. So he was good, right? But he wasn't in the gym and I had next. So he walks in the gym and that game stops. He takes my run. So, you know, you got next. You know, he's like, no, I got next, man. And like nobody in the gym stopped him.
That's
like
crazy.
All my teammates and stuff was like, no, you just play next because they wanted him to play.
Yeah. Dang.
And man,
that's a bad feeling right
It's
there.
a bad feeling, bro. Man, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, all right, cool. All right, I got next then. And I was the whole time on the sideline, I was just hoping his team won. I hope they win. I hope they win. His team won. And back then we used to play the 7x1s. So no threes. You could shoot a 3, but it still counts as 1, right? Yeah. Bro, I scored all 7 points. We won.
Dang.
And like that was it.
That got you respect.
Yeah, that got me respect, but it also more than getting me respect. In my mind, they let me know I belong. You know what I'm saying?
Lit a fire in you.
Exactly.
Got that confidence up.
That's what I needed. Yeah. So yeah, man, I went on from there to from everybody saying I was gonna redshirt that year. I ended up getting rookie of the year, man. So
that's
it was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. What was like the access to like the gyms and stuff like that? Could you go to the gym anytime you wanted to?
No,
get better?
No, we couldn't. So I got a story there too. So I used to go to the gym so much that I made friends with the janitor.
Okay.
Yeah, so the janitor, I knew his schedule when he would come in every night. Yeah. And I would sneak back to the gym at like 12:30 at night.
Oh, damn.
And he would let me in. And man, it got to the point where like he would have like these big gallon jugs of water and 2 towels.
Oh, waiting for me
there so I could get my workout in. Yeah. And I'll never forget, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I'll never forget, like, I had a big game against Duke, and we'll talk about that. But I remember I was in the gym the night before the game, and he had the water, the towels, and everything there. And then I had the game that I had against Duke. We'll talk about that. But then I remember coming back to the gym at a home game for A&T that they had, and I remember seeing him and us making eye contact, and he was like shaking his head like, "Yo," you know what I mean? Because he saw the work, so it was gratifying feeling to see him and get that validation from him.
Do you remember his name?
I don't, man.
I'm about to say, give him a shout out, man. He deserves it, man.
I don't, man. Yeah.
Shout out to the janitor, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He was cool, man. So, but yeah, we didn't have access to the gym, but like I said, so I used to get in and make friends with, you know, the people I needed to get in there.
Okay, cool. All right, so you said you was rookie of the year for the MEAC, your freshman year. So what was your stats looking like? You remember your stats?
I don't remember my stats my freshman year. I think maybe like 7 or 8 points. Okay. You know, my assist to turnover ratio was really good. I think for me, like the reason I got rookie of the year though was just because of the impact I made as a freshman, right? Like we didn't have a good year my freshman year. And I remember my first game starting at A&T was the 5th game into my freshman year. So you know, I was a starting point guard for like almost my whole career at A&T.
That's what's up.
And
that gotta feel good as freshman.
It did, man. And you know what? I started the game. My first game starting was one of the most packed games ever. We played Winston-Salem State. And back then,
I got a lot of homies that
yeah,
played at Winston State.
yo, that was a rival.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a rival game, but it was just close to
Yeah,
us.
they close.
So
Yeah,
like their students could come. We
fellow
was there.
HBCU,
Fellow HBCU. So man, I remember like looking around, like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? But I was nervous. But I remember ripping the point guard they had in the very first play and getting a layup. Yeah. And the rest was history on that one too. So
did y'all win that time?
We won. Yeah, we won. We won. Yeah. So
shout out to my homies. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I never lost to Winston, man. Never.
I'm gonna take that back to the group chat.
That's what's up, man.
I had a couple of homies that played at Winston. Okay. And one of them won like a CI CIAA MVP for the tournament.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That is huge right there. CIAA, look, I know we beat Winston, and I know we beat the CIAA teams we played for the most part, but the CI is a tough conference. Respect to the CIAA, like 100. They got some ballers.
Yeah, they definitely can ball. Yeah. And he like 6'8", so.
Okay, all right, yeah. That's what's up.
But all right, so. What was that jump to the sophomore year? Like, how much better did you get going to sophomore to junior to senior?
Man, you know what? That's the thing. I think that is the reason why my career was as successful as it was. I got better every year. Like I took steps every single year. My sophomore year coming in, starting at point guard, and we had a really good team because the point guard that was starting that I told you was picked to be your first team on me. He was playing the 2 guard now.
Oh dang!
And man, he could go right. So we had.
So he was still getting time. He just wasn't running the show.
Right. Yeah, he was still getting time. He was too good to not play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he was still playing. Man, my sophomore year, like we really started to turn as a team too. So that year I got most dedicated player on the team just because of, me being willing to do everything that needed to be done for us to win, right? So my stats came up a little bit, but my impact was way bigger than what it was. And then my junior year is where I really started like to solidify myself as a player, not only in the MEAC but in the country. Okay. So we beat a couple of major teams. Like we beat Texas A&M in Texas A&M.
Oh dang, that's a big win.
So I almost had a triple double that game. So I think I had like 12 points, 10 assists, like 9 rebounds or something like that, 5 steals or something. And then we played Baylor, which is also a big time school, and we were beating them by like 12 points with like 2 minutes to go. And I end up breaking my foot.
Oh man!
So I break my foot. We end up losing that game. We was up 8 with 2 minutes to go, and we end up losing.
So you broke your foot 1 year though.
Yeah. So I broke my foot and was out for like. I played 7 games, and if I would have played 6 games, I could have got a redshirt year.
Oh dang!
So you know what I'm saying. So I broke my foot. I sat out the rest of my sophomore year. Came back my junior year. I'm sorry. So I broke my foot my sophomore year. That's when we beat those teams. I came back my junior year ready to go in full-fledged, and we had our best season to date at this point.
So y'all got the best season ever for A&T.
No. We had the best season of when I was there up to that point.
Oh, okay. So since then, nobody has had a better season.
No. What I mean is like, so out of the 4 years that I had,
your best season while you was there. Okay.
We had our best season.
All right, my fault. I was trying to gas you up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, I wish, bro. I wish. Now we A&T's basketball history is amazing, bro. Yeah. Like in the 70s and 80s, like I think in the 70s we won like 9 championships. In the 80s we won like 8 championships. Like so, we got so many banners in the gym. That's why it's such a big deal to be in the Hall of Fame at A&T because like. They don't just give that out, bro.
Exactly.
Like, that ain't but I ended up finishing my career as an All-American, and my senior year was like the year where things just kind of like catapulted me into another stratosphere.
Yeah. That when you played Duke?
It is. It is. Yeah. So
I can remember that might be the only game I remember because it was so much talked about. It was your Duke game, whatever.
Yeah, man. That was a big game because they were the number 1 team in the country. It was on national TV. You know what I mean?
And who was on that team? On that Duke team?
Oh my goodness, man!
Let them know.
Listen. These are some ballers, bro. Almost all the players I'm naming not only played in the NBA but had an impact in the NBA. So Jason Williams, now known as Jay Williams, shout out to my guy. Chris Duhan, also my guy, shout out to him. Mike Dunleavy, who is like the he is the GM or like
the Warriors.
Warriors, yep. So he, you know, he did his thing. His dad was he could shoot it, he could play, he could do everything. They had Carlos Boozer. Well, you know, Los, he playing good. Shout out to him.
His twins at Duke now.
Yeah. They come from good stock. And then they had Nate James. They had Nate was a baller, man. He could shoot it, strong. He's coaching at Howard now.
Okay.
And then they had Casey Sanders, who also was like, you know, 6'11", big, could play.
That's some tough competition right there.
For real, man. And all of them were like, you know, like sometimes, and I don't mean this in no disrespect, but you know, sometimes big teams just have names. No, these guys had names and they were ballers. You know what I'm saying? So, it was kind of shocking to everybody that's a Duke fan or everybody that was in Cameron Indoor Stadium that day. It was kind of shocking to even them, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Because I had played against. I played against them in the summer league a time or two, but you know, you don't really get the real gist of things if you don't play them continuously, right? So they might have known of me, but I don't think they knew I was that good. Yeah. But the dope thing about it is my teammates knew. Like I had a teammate come to me before the game and was like, "Hey, bro, this is national TV, man. Go ahead and kill these cats." You know what I mean? Because he knew how good I was, and most of my team did. And that's what I did, man. That's the only game that Dad came to see in college.
Word.
Yeah, man. Yes. So I ended up breaking the record for a little while. The most points scored in Cameron Indoor Stadium by a non-conference opponent, highest field goal percentage. Yeah. So it was. We were
trying to Google that because I was telling my homie because we went to this state in Wake Forest game earlier this week, and we was telling him about that game. And we were trying to Google it, but Google won't really tell us nothing. Like, but I was like, man, I think he still got the record for the most points by opponent in Cameron Indoor.
Well, I don't have it anymore.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, so somebody broke it. I forgot the kid that broke it. I know. I thought Dennis Smith Jr. was gonna break it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He scored. He scored 32, and I had 34. But there was a kid after him that played that broke it. But Dennis Smith was in conference too, so that would have been different. But yeah, man. So that right there was like the most notable game, right? Because it was on national TV and who it was against. But man, I had quite a few games. Like I was ranked top 5 in the country in most 30-point games by a point guard. I was ranked top 5 in the country in terms of like winning percentage and affecting wins. So that kind of like got me in a situation where, you know, agents and professional teams and things of the nature were starting to take a look at me. Obviously back then it was different because I couldn't talk to any of them or anything like that. But yeah, man, A&T, I'm so glad I made that decision because it was the right situation for me. Right, I think sometimes players just want to go as high as they can, just to say they went as high as they can, and they end up hurting themselves in that way. A&T was different. A&T was the level that I should have been at, where I could showcase my skills and people could see me play, and it ended up paying off for me to be able to become a pro.
That's what's up. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't even gave A&T the like when I was picking college in high school. The only reason why I looked at A&T is because I knew you went there.
My man.
And then I looked and I did my research and I was like, oh, they got this like one of the best engineering schools. So it worked out. So I was like, oh, it's the pick. It's the right one.
Yeah, bro. I got accepted into the engineering school too. That's why one of the reasons why I also went there too. But man, with like juggling practice.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be travel, one of my questions too. Yeah, like how do you like? Because I know I'm kind of glad I didn't play sports in college because school was already hard enough for me. So I know I couldn't do school and play sports, especially engineering.
Right.
Because oh my God, engineering that was stressful. But
man, so I was in the engineering, and I wasn't even in the core yet, right? Because this is my freshman year, but you still had some of those classes. Man, I was in the lab like until like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then going straight to the gym to like shoot around and stuff before practice. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I can't do this, bro. You know? So I changed my major to interdisciplinary studies. So I ended up being a tri major with business psychology and education. So it worked out, man, because I'm using all those things now.
Yeah, that's what's up. We're gonna talk about that probably the next part, but So after your season year ended, like, so what was the process of trying to like go to the next level? Like, what did you have to like sign an agent, or
Yes.
did someone tell you that you could go to the next level? Or
Yeah. My coach actually called me in the office, which is it's so back then they had something called the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. Okay. So previously the deadline to sign up for that I think was January 31st. However, my year, I guess they moved it to December the 31st.
oh dang,
So
a little bit sooner.
yeah, exactly. So my coaching staff or my coach, he missed the deadline.
Oh dang.
Yeah, so I didn't get to go to the PIT. And you know what? I was salty about that, right? For a minute, I was kind of upset. But the thing was, we hadn't had a player at A&T in quite some time that was getting the attention and that had the opportunity to play at the level that I did. So I went overseas my first year, but the way that happened was I still got invited to a pre-draft camp in Chicago.
Okay, cool.
And similar to how I did, how I was explaining in high school in those camps, man, I destroyed that camp too. You know what I'm saying? And, like, we talking about against like all the major players, right? Like, you know, players from Arizona, UCLA,
the whole country.
Texas, the whole country, right? You know what I'm saying? So I separated myself from everybody in that camp too. So I signed my first deal. The owner of the team that I signed with was at that camp.
Oh, dang.
You know what I'm saying? So they offered me, and what happened was when they offered me, they already had an agent that they were dealing with.
Okay, yeah.
So he ended up getting me by default.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Which worked out.
Yeah,
Because he was a good agent too. Yeah. So I signed with him. I signed my first contract, and yeah, man, I was a pro.
Okay. So was there any inkling of like the NBA though at first, or it was just overseas?
Yeah. No. So there were some teams interested in me. Like, they contacted my coach. Atlanta Hawks was interested. The Milwaukee Bucks was interested. Orlando was interested a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I had some teams that were interested. So I went overseas my first year, and we I led the league in assists.
Okay.
Our team was there were 16 teams in the league that we were in. We were picked to finish 15th. We ended up winning the league.
Oh dang, that's what's up.
So yeah, we regular season, we ended up winning the regular season. You know, the regular season championship or whatever. We were number one, and then another team ended up winning the playoffs.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, man, that from there, Atlanta Hawks invited me in. I signed a contract with the Atlanta Hawks that next year. But my contract got waived. But I'm sure we'll go into that next episode, I guess.
So now we can talk about this episode. Like, the contract. What did you get some money from it, or like it just?
Oh yeah.
Right.
So back then,
they still gotta pay you, right? Even if you get waived, right?
Yeah,
but it's just not like a big contract, but it's some money in it though, right?
I mean, it was big for me, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, so back then and this ain't even a lot of money now, but back then I think the minimum was like $620,000 or something like that.
Geez.
So and what happens is like the contracts aren't again, now mind you, I'm speaking about back when I was, things have changed now with the collective agreement or whatever. So don't take this as what's happening now, right? So, but the rules are completely different. But back then, NBA contracts weren't guaranteed until after December 31st as well.
Okay.
So for me, what happens was they pay you while you're there.
Okay.
They prorate it. So if you're there a month, they pay you a month. If you're there 20 days, they pay you 20 days.
Okay. Cool. How long was you there?
And I was there like a little over a month, bro.
Okay,
like, you know what I'm saying? So it was
check.
Yeah. I was all right. I was happy. Yeah. Like, you know what's crazy, man? Like that also opened my eyes to money, right? And like how it's a whole different world out there.
Yeah.
So hopefully Sharif won't get mad at me putting his business out there. But I remember Sharif Abdul-Rahim, the big guy at Atlanta Hawks. He was their all-star. He was a baller.
Yeah.
I remember like walking in the gym my very first time in Atlanta, and he's talking to his agent, and they talking about a deal for like $8 million. And he like, man, ain't nobody, man, get out of here.
Yeah,
like he wasn't even batting the eye at it. I was like, wait, what?
Shoot.
And then like we used to get per diem, you know what I'm saying, and like per diem was like $1,400-$1,500 a day. You know what I'm saying, and like. Man, the cats was like getting these envelopes with the money and just throwing it in the middle of a table playing cards with it.
Yeah.
Like betting it. You know what I'm saying? So like
crazy.
so when I hear about the situation with Chauncey Billups and the betting and all that, I'm like, man, first of all, that's alleged.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I could see how players could get caught up in something like that because it's easy to like for them bets to run up. You know what I'm saying? And like
it's almost like a part of the, like team culture, like it's team bonding and stuff like that. So
exactly. Like you should like do the rookie hazing and stuff, and like make you pay for dinner for everybody. Man, ain't got no bread like that, man, to be paying dinner for that. You know what I'm saying? So but no, it was a cool experience. You know, and the contracts was cool. My situation was Atlanta contacted me at that time, and they were looking to sign a big guard, or they were looking to draft a big guard. So Jason Terry was there.
Okay.
So, you know, my agent was telling me and talking to, you know, the scouts and general managers and stuff that like it would be ideal for them to bring me in as the other small guard, and they're gonna draft a big guard. That particular draft, a player that was expected to go lottery. His name was Dan Dickow. He played at Gonzaga, a really good player. He didn't do so well, I guess, in the pre-draft or whatever, and he dropped. So he ended up being available at pick like 22 or 23. So they were able to get a lottery pick, you know, at 23. So when they took him, they ended up not needing me, you know what I'm saying?
Dang.
So because he was my size. Unfortunately, though, he didn't pan out.
Okay.
You know, I'll just say that. So
I don't even remember that name, to be honest.
Yeah.
I might have been too young.
He was a really good college player. Their system was really good. He could shoot the lights out of it. But again, it worked out for the best for me because I ended up going back overseas and continue to play. And the thing for me was for my first 6 years playing pro, I never stopped playing. Because I was overseas, flying back home and going right on the NBA circuit, trying to make an NBA team. And then my body was really taking a like wear and tear. Yeah. So I'll never forget the Charlotte Bobcats brought me in during the expansion year. And man, I played great. You know what I'm saying? And my agent called me and was like, hey man, I think they're gonna start with like a rookie point, like with a fresh point guard. Like they're willing to start with a point guard that hadn't played in the NBA for real. So I think you're good. You know what I'm saying?
Homegrown too.
Homegrown, yeah. And man, like the next day, David Stern announces that he's going to allow the expansion teams to have an expansion draft. And what that meant was they could draft other unprotected NBA players, right? Teams, so
they had to like give like a pool of players from each team that they could draft from.
Yep. So if the contracts weren't if they were unrestricted contracts, that mean they could get them. So they ended up getting a guy named Brevin Knight, who was just amazing. He was second in the league in assists that year behind Steve Nash or whatever the previous year. He ended up coming. He's a phenomenal player. But what they did for me though was it was a beautiful thing because then I closed the door in the NBA.
Okay. My next question, like, when do you just stop, like, trying to get there to the NBA? Because that's a lot of people. Well, I guess people do realize it, but some people don't realize how hard it actually is to get to the NBA and how good you got to be and how hard you got to work to get there. And then some people like are just physically gifted, and when they get there, they don't work hard enough to stay there.
Right.
So it's one thing to get there, but it's a whole other thing to stay there and have a great career to where you can retire maybe 10 years, 15 years after. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think it's situational too, right? Like when in my situations or things that I just explained, that's situational, right? Like circumstances sometimes are out of your control. I think that for me though, I wish I would have just concentrated on being in Europe my whole career, right? Because when I closed the door in the NBA, like, man, my life in Europe, my contracts in Europe, like my season area, I just catapulted, right? Like it was just, I made so much money, played on some really great teams, EuroLeague, Euro Cup, all that type of stuff. So it was dope, man. I was like, man, I should have been just did this,
I was gonna ask you the numbers, but we ain't gonna get into all that.
I might get in trouble if I say those numbers. But let's just say this, man. I took I would have been taking a pay cut
to go to the NBA,
to go to the league at that time.
So yeah, you had a very fruitful career.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what teams? Where were like the teams in the countries that you played at while you was overseas?
Yeah, man. So I played in France for 5 years. I played in Holland for 2 years. I played in Belgium for 3 years. I played in Sweden for 5 years. Also played in South America, in Venezuela, and the Dominican Republic during the summer.
Okay.
Man, all phenomenal places. I was blessed to play in all of the major places. Like I lived in Paris for 2 years.
Yeah, I bet that was nice.
It was. Yeah, I lived in Amsterdam.
Okay.
I lived in Brussels, right? You know what I'm saying? And then I lived in a place in Venezuela that's gosh, man, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like on the beach and it's like a
nice.
resort, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a really good. No, let me back up. It was great, man.
Yeah,
like playing overseas in
sounds
Europe was great, man. I had commercials. I was on billboards.
I didn't know you had
You know what I
commercials.
mean?
I need to look them up. They on
yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, I don't know how you could, what you need to put in to look it up, but yeah, it should be, man. Like I think that's one of the things that American players or players that aspire to play in the NBA and they don't even think about Europe or playing overseas. That's one of the things that I think they miss out on. Right?
Yeah.
Like it is high level basketball. Like it is. In some places, I believe. I played in the NBA. Yeah, like well, I think that the rules difference makes it a little bit easier. Like when I was on the NBA circuit, I mean, obviously it's the NBA, right? It's the best place in the world, but like everybody knows how to get open.
Yeah,
like it's spacious, right? Like there's rules to where you can't necessarily play zone all the time.
Yeah.
So for a player like me or for like players, the defense is easier. When you playing in Europe. Nah, there's schemes to stop you defensively. Like you really gotta play basketball.
We had so many people from overseas come here to the NBA and they're MVPs and stuff like
exactly.
Jokic, Giannis.
The game is so easy
Luka
for
Doncic.
Jokic. The game is so easy for Luka, right? Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying. So yeah,
that makes sense. So where was your favorite place to play at?
My favorite place to play was Sweden. So I played in a city called Borås for Borås Basket. We played in the Euro Cup and like so you're probably familiar with this, but for those who are not, Euro League or Euro Cup or FIBA Europe, these are all like international competitions where you play against the other best teams throughout Europe, right? So even though your team is in Sweden, if you're playing in the Euro Cup or in the Euro League, you might be playing against the best team in France or the best team in Russia or the best team in Germany. You know what I mean? Like so. So I played on that team there, and the reason I like Sweden is obviously everybody spoke English.
Okay. Cool, yeah.
But the technology was better. It's a rich country, so like my house was amazing, brand new cars, and the travel was easy, and by that I mean you don't have to like take 15-hour bus trips in Sweden. Right? In France, man, we used to get on a bus for like 12, 13 hours sometimes.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. And the competition was good. It was solid. I think competition-wise, France was the best. I think France. I mean, I don't know about now because I've been retired for almost 10 years. Yeah. But back when I played, France was considered like a top 10 competition-wise. You know, you got Serbia and Russia, Greece. But in my opinion, I played against all those teams in the Euro Cups and stuff.
Sweden was better.
France, I know I'm saying France competition-wise was probably one of the best leagues in all of Europe when I was playing. Okay. And it's just,
I can see that.
It was good. It was good basketball there, man.
That's what's up. I'm surprised you, cause like when I be seeing like Brandon Jennings talk about when he went over there and he got his, I guess with his fashion sense from over there, where like he was doing the Louis Vuitton and the Gucci and stuff. I'm surprised you ain't never really. Well, I don't know if you did or not, but like.
I think like I just never had a interest in trying to be like a clothing, in clothing design and stuff like that.
You wasn't really too materialistic.
Nah, man. I like you know me, man. Like I was getting. That's another thing for me. Like I always had like a vision in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew kind of like what I wanted to do and how I wanted to live after basketball.
Yeah.
So for
That's
me,
true, yeah.
man, I kept my head down. I got these contracts. I did right by my teams and you know, tried to do what I could in the community when I was there, to kind of like, you know, make basketball bigger in the areas where I was at.
Yeah.
Give back to less fortunate, you know, people in those communities. But man, I stacked my bread. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, man. So here's the thing, and this is really like full circle now when I think about it. About a year ago, my mom showed me a list of things that I wrote down when I was like 10 or 11 years old that I was gonna do when I grew up, right? And I put I was gonna be a professional basketball player. I was gonna make a lot of money. I was gonna get married and have a family. I was gonna retire her, and then I was gonna start a business helping people.
Okay.
And you know, be and give back. You know what I'm saying? So like I checked off all those things. You know what I'm saying? So and I say that because like for me, like obviously it was a grind at first, you know, making those checks and getting those checks. But once they started coming in, I was like, man, I want to be smart enough with this money to be able to provide a good life for my family afterwards. Because it was very easy to like, I'll tell a quick story. All right, so we are in Paris. At the time, the Paris soccer team is like ranked top 5 and something in the world or whatever. They in the Euro UEFA Cup or whatever it's called, right? But I say that to say they are making big money. Like our money can't even compare. Yeah. I don't know if the NBA money can compare to how much bread they make, right?
Yeah, because soccer is like almost every country plays soccer.
Yeah,
soccer is big.
Yeah, they getting like I mean super money.
Yeah.
All right, so we used to party at the same spots. You know what I'm saying? Like we still the professional athletes, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'll never forget one time we're in the club and one of my teammates was trying to go bottle for bottle or like buy out the bar like the soccer player, right? So I'm like, dog, chill out, man. Like, what you doing, man? And you know what I'm saying? They doing their thing or whatever. And, you know, we got this, we got this. No, you owe me, you owe me. So at the end of the night, they giving him the tab. He didn't run up a $37,000 bill. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't even get nowhere near as much as they did.
Dang.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like, you done spent $37K in one night. And that's how easy it is. So, you know what I'm saying? Because you getting this money. But for me, I was always like, nah, man, I'm gonna make sure I can put myself in a place to be in a good position after basketball.
Okay, that's what's up. So like, how was the culture shock, like being overseas, like the language barriers and stuff like that?
Oh man, so when I first got over there, it was huge. Like, man, I was making money and still was like, man, I don't know if this is for me. Like the first 3 months, because first of all, the first 3 months we got there was also preseason. It was training camp. So man, our coach was killing us. Right, it was so bad running wise that one of my teammates was like, "Listen, I didn't come here to run track. Like I'm not a track star. Like I'm not running no more." Right, but it was hard because English nobody really spoke. Right, like I had to like immerse myself into the culture, and I had to learn French when I was there. And the reason I did that is because I never forget we had a close game. It was last second shot. We had the ball. Coach was drawing up the play. He's speaking in all French.
Oh man,
I have no idea what to do. Right. So one of
you have an interpreter? Or anything?
I did. Okay, right. But everything was moving so fast. It was so excited. It was a big game. He couldn't really translate in time or whatever. So luckily, man, I was coming out and I asked one of my teammates that was French that also spoke English. I'm like, dog, what am I supposed to do? He said, man, just win the game. So I just like. Full flat, broke my man down, hit the shot to win it.
It worked out.
It worked out, right? But after that, I was like, nah, I'm gonna learn French, man. So I started picking up on words and different sayings and stuff like that, and became conversational. So yeah, the culture was tough, man. The food was tough.
I know the food was tough for me because I'm kind of picky eater too. So,
man, it was tough, but you get used to it, right? You find your niche and what you like, and then you expand from there. I will say that when I first went over, it's a misconception that people are mean to Americans I mean, I know I was an athlete,
Yeah.
but I rarely encountered someone who wasn't inviting or willing to help out or whatever, especially if you're trying
Yeah.
to be in part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? So
And I bet most of them countries is probably safer over there than it is over here too.
yeah. Sweden was definitely safe. Paris, depending on where you go. Right, we stayed in the places where it was more touristy and more like, you know what I'm saying, safe. But there are some places in in Paris that's rough.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Well, all right, we're gonna end this with part here, right here, and then next episode we'll talk about life after basketball, and then we're gonna do like a little bit of comparisons between like your generation now, like the athletes and what they can do to get their name out there and stuff like that, and the things they can do to get better as athletes.
Sounds good.
All right. See y'all next week.
Invite me over if you throw another pretty party. Looking back, it's hard to tell you where I started. I don't know who loved me, but I know that it ain't everybody. I can never love her, she a busybody. Baby, if you want me, kept me turning up with everybody. Nah.